Wrapping up our adventurous year with Kia's reinvented midsize SUV. As a midsize crossover with 3 rows of seats, Sorento teeters on the precipice of brilliance and irrelevance. Some may find its in-betweener form factor ideal. It's really more of a full-time 2-row with part-time 3rd-row purchase. Others that's something more decided, like Kia's smaller 2-row Sportage or larger 3-row Telluride, would better fit their needs. Over the many months and more than 23,000 miles we spent with the 2021 Kia Sorento SX in our long-term review fleet, we decided that, here, segment splitting works. Better than simply being functional, the Sorento gives lots more to like than not. Minimal tarnish. Let's get the negatives out of the way. First and foremost is the dual clutch transmission's low speed behavior, a gripe we've had with the Sorento since our first drive. When pulling away or creeping forward, particularly on an incline, it can stutter, leading to hesitant, jerky departures. Despite that evaluation, we'll qualify it as minor annoyance. We call it out mostly for drivers accustomed to traditional automatics. If that's you, you'll notice that the Sorento's dual clutch doesn't let you depart in a consistent and immediate way. You'll also likely be able to overlook it. And after first gear, shifts are nearly invisible, perceptible audibly more than any other way. Relatedly, turning off the engine start/stop system became routine. It restarts too slowly, which combines with the transmission's fumbles to make smooth getaways impossible. We preferred sacrificing a little bit of fuel, and taking the emissions hit, for the sake of drivability. Fuel efficiency and maintenance. Regarding fuel, in 23,033 miles we averaged 22.8 miles per gallon, not quite meeting the EPA's 24 miles per gallon combined economy rating, but not missing it by much either. Regardless, it's commendable, given Mount Driver's eager right ankles, and that we had a bulky tent fixed to the Sorento's roof rails for well over 4,000 miles. Additionally, we bested the EPA's 425-mile range estimate several times, at one point draining 471 miles out of the tank. 2 stops for scheduled service totaled $354.18, making the Sorento more expensive to maintain than similar long-term SUVs we've had in our fleet. And it would have cost even more had we bought the $300 advanced fuel system cleaning service proposed at the second visit. We spent less than $350 each on our 2017 Mazda CX-5 and CX-9, onto different Kia. Our 2020 Telluride was a bargain at $120 spent over a similar number of miles. Nevertheless, the Sorento remained reliable during its stay. The only thing resembling an unexpected issue was a subtle yet persistent creaking noise that began emanating from the headliner as the odometer neared 20,000 miles. A serious glow-up. On to the good stuff. We never got over the Sorento's crisp, angular styling. It's incomparably improved over the previous Sorento, and to our eye one of the better-looking vehicles in its segment, especially in our test vehicle's crystal beige hue. The cabin also convinced us with its functionality and ease of use. We appreciated Kia's preference, which seems to be changing, for unfussy physical knobs and switches, but the capacitive buttons mixed in worked as intended, too. Settling in was eased by the little bins on the center console, and getting out facilitated by the easy pull door handles. Kia thought through the details, including those stylish geometric air vents. We have no gripes about our $42,190 SX trim Sorento's 10.3-inch infotainment touchscreen, although a driver information display larger than 4.2 inches would have been nice. Maybe it'll arrive in the mid-cycle update. Whether the second and third rows were upright or folded, the Sorento readily adapted to the situation. Its wide-opening rear doors made access a breeze, as did the super simple folding operation of the second row captain's chairs. Drivers who plan to frequently pack their SUV to capacity should probably size up, but with ventilation and USB ports the Sorento's far back seats produced few complaints. Our crossover's enormous panoramic moonroof was a favorite feature for riders along. Folding the rear seats opened up a great deal of cargo space, making it easy for this rider to toss in his mountain bike. Then there was actually driving the Sorento. During its evaluation at our 2021 SUV of the Year contest, one judge called it the feel-good hit of the competition, a sentiment that held true through our long-term test. With sensitive steering and nimble reflexes, the Sorento had that oft-praised attribute of feeling smaller than it is. Undulating pavement could set the ride afloat slightly, but the Sorento's overall handling verve made it enjoyable to pilot. Despite the aforementioned dual-clutch fumbles, the turbocharged 2.5-liter i4 always delivered solid acceleration. We evaluated other Sorento powertrain options in parallel with our long-termer, and came away convinced that this turbo mill is the one to get even if it's not supremely refined or efficient. The all-wheel drive system behind it seemed unbothered by the few dirt roads we traversed. Over the many highway miles we covered, throughout California, and to Oregon, Utah, Nevada, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico, the Sorento's driver aids rarely faltered. The adaptive cruise control was responsive and consistent, aided by solid lane keep assist which would take the lead in staying centered even in surprisingly tight curves. Good as gold. On the 2021 Sorento's arrival, we found ourselves thinking about Kia's midsize crossover in an unusual way, surprised to realize we were giving even a modicum of mental energy to a Sorento in the first place. Prior iterations never warranted much consideration, let alone actual affection. But now that our Sorento is gone, we find our thoughts cast in another unexpected direction. We miss it. Not only did it prove itself as the best Sorento ever, but as a worthy competitor to crossovers bordering it on either side of the size spectrum. It could be a while yet before a similarly multi-talented SUV joins our long-term fleet.
We are interested in your comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video for more videos. Thanks for watching.